Hi viewers, hope you are fine. And today I thought I should just share with you a presentation of mine which I conducted uh, for the teachers how to deliver their lectures with confidence. So, what I planned that I'll post a number of parts of my presentation, which was of around 3 hours presentation. You may call it a workshop, but today we have decided, like I have decided, to do it for more of my viewers to get benefit from this presentation. It's actually this presentation is for teachers, especially for higher grades like O levels or A levels or even at tertiary level. When you are teaching, if you are teaching college students or university students, this video will help you to just get some of the tips and technical information how to deliver your lecture with some effective communication and better results. So let's start now. As I told you, the topic is confidence basically, and we will talk about how a teacher can be or a lecturer can be confident the way he's delivering his lecture. So let's first start with a historical background of what the lecture is. As you can see that I wanted to find out the definition of lecture, and I just surfed here and there, and then I found that actually word lecture has been derived from the Latin word lacter. And in the olden times, actually, people used to go to learn, and the teacher used to lecture them. Means they used to read aloud from, mostly I think it was the religious scripture, from where they used to recite and read loud for their audience. And even if it was a book related to the language, grammar, or the history, the teacher used to read loud for them from the book or even without the book, but he was reading the same scripture for them. And the student used to note down the main points or the point they think was important for them to learn. So this how a history of lecture developed, and this method was the only method in human history for adolescent learners and adult learners. For children, there were few different methods were there, but as we are talking about lecture, we'll only talk about this. So I hope it is clear that when we say lecture, actually it means to do something. The teacher or lecturer would be speaking about the content of knowledge in front of a student. If it is only reading, then how the lecture styles of our different teachers is different. Maybe it is due to the use of audio visuals in the lecture. If a teacher is using different kind of audio visuals, we feel that their lecture methodology is different. And it is also related to the techniques they use to develop the interest in the topic of their students. And some of the lecturer may not have clear voice, then they may feel to engage their student to be understood clearly by their student. And the last thing which is important uh, to give you a confident style of your lecture is to have clarity in your pronunciation, clarity in the sound which you are making so that students would not be confused, especially if you are giving them new terminologies. So they should be obviously written somewhere. We will discuss later where to post the information lecturer is talking about, but it should be clear to hear as well. Okay. Now, how to give clear lectures? It's main point. Like when you are just thinking and planning what you are going to deliver in the lecture, you should have an idea how you are giving the write-ups, how you are going to deliver that lecture. First, which can come is that you're going to write your ideas somewhere visually, um, visual for them, for the students, that they can see it clearly. It can be a whiteboard, it can be a blackboard, or it can be a smart board, whatever it is. But a teacher may just jot down different words and terminologies together, so in the end it could be clearly visible for the student to see that they have discussed them all. Then, to generate clarity in the lecture, you may ask question to your audience to see if they have learned what you are delivering throughout. So asking question develop a clarity in the lecture. Another thing which is very important is how you are going to deliver the information. If you are going to summarize what you have discussed and what you have concluded in the lecture, in the middle of the lecture and at the end of the lecture, obviously that will give a clear idea to your student that, oh, we have learned it. And to do this, to develop interest of the students and to be very specific what you are going to say about is done through using stress of your keywords and phrases. Like you can say, I am going to give examples, and you give a stress to example, and everybody gets notified that now teacher is about to give an example. Then a teacher obviously use body language other than his words to talk about and to create an environment of learning by using the body language positively. An uninterested lecture or using negative body language in your lecture would ruin your class. Another method of bringing clarity in the lecture is if you can develop a task related to your content for the students to work on it for a certain number of minutes, like not more than 20 or 15 minutes, then it will get their mind focused, and if they have to use what you have discussed, then obviously it will be a hit. Another thing is that if you're not using some kind of software presentation for your class, then either a teacher can write on the board, or you can ask a student to write about something, but you can use flip charts as well, because then you might not miss anything. You can write in advance, and just by flipping the papers of your chart you can go to a certain number of information noted down earlier prior to your lecture. Now, why write-up ideas are important? Because it will show the students what points are important. Okay, so if your ideas are visible to students in written, they can get that, okay, these points were important in the lecture for them to understand, to be able to take away after the class. And when you ask question, the objective is to check the understanding of the students, what they are doing what they are getting. And if you need to correct any, obviously you can only get this information through asking questions from them. And when we summarize, it gives a review, and you can do in part of your lectures or in the end of the lecture. And when you stress the keyword, obviously student can get the idea what is important to remember in the lecture. And body language is used to get the focus of attention of your student and to deliver important information. So viewers, this was the first part of my presentation, and here we have discussed how to deliver this important point of the lecture. I hope you have enjoyed it. See you next time with another video related to the second part of it. Thank you.